so worth it. What is going on, all you beautiful people on YouTube? My name is Clayton, and thank you so much for clicking on this channel. New patterns, guys. If you have not already, please subscribe. Turn that notification bell on as well. You'll be notified every single time that I post a new video. And this is a big favor. I need you to like this video. Helps it jump into the YouTube algorithm. So when people type there and they're anxious and they're having heart palpitations, they're having shortness of breath, they're having dizziness, they can come here and get reassurance that I can help them out. Like hopefully I'm helping you out right now. If you could do that for me, that'd be great. I greatly appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about cardiophobia and maybe the deeper root that causes heart anxiety. So let's jump right into the video. So before I even want to go into cardiophobia, let's just define what that means, cardiophobia. Now cardio, of course, heart, things to do with the heart. Then you have phobia, fear. So fear of the heart, right? Pretty simple. But you put those together, it makes one hell of a recipe for disaster and for just total hell in somebody's life. Before I got diagnosed with heart anxiety, specifically some type of OCD where I was obsessed with the thought of having a heart attack, with the thought of having something happen weird in my heart where I was gonna drop down, the thought of having heart failure, it scared the hell out of me each and every single day. It cost me so much friendships, it cost me relationships, it cost me my 5 years of my life that I can never ever get back because I just refuse to believe any of the doctors. I refuse to get treatment for anxiety because I didn't think it was anxiety. So does that sound like you? If that sounds like you, let's go ahead and dive into a deeper root later. But first off, of course, I'm not a medical provider. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. But I do have experience with this type of stuff. I do have experience with cardiophobia. I do have experience with heart anxiety in general. So everything just became really irrational for me. And I know that it's probably irrational for you. Of course, after being checked up by the doctor, I didn't want to believe the doctor. And of course, having all those tests done, I didn't want to believe the test. I personally did not think that it was ever anxiety. I thought there was actually something wrong and the doctors were missing something. But guess what? As anxiety, or as people that suffer with anxiety, we have a tendency to just think the worst. No matter what it is, it can never just be, isn't it funny if you just take a step back real quick and realize it can never just be acid reflux, right? It can never just be some gas pain. It can never just be some type of stomach pain. It always has to, or left arm pain, particularly if you're having a fear of heart attacks, because when I feared that, I always got that symptom. It can never just be simple muscle pain. It can never just be simple palpitations. It can't be any of that. It has to be the worst case scenario. So if you have chest pain, it has to be a heart attack, right? If you have palpitations, it has to be some weird rhythm and you're gonna collapse and die, right? If you have some type of shortness of breath, it has to be heart failure. Because not only is it the first thing that pops up on Google, but also you were feeling this symptom and you feel like the doctors aren't taking it serious because these are so physical. I felt this. I know what's going on in my body. But you don't believe that anxiety can cause these symptoms. Or the biggest one is, what if this time it's not anxiety? What if this time it's actually my heart? Well, here is a deeper explanation on why we have so much heart anxiety today. When I look at people that do not have anxiety, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? You should have anxiety about something. I mean, given that we're in this crazy world, we're constantly on our phones. We are constantly watching the news. Anxiety is going on all around us. Every single moment of every single second of every single life, we are anxious. Well, there's a potential to be anxious. We are surrounded by nothing but negativity all the time. So it's really hard to turn that into, such a positive thing. Now we look at other people and we're like, how are you not anxious of dying? How are you not worried about your heart and how it could just stop any minute? A lot of people, and that's a question that I really want to know, is how are a lot of people just carrying on through life not worried about a thing? I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, and I know for a fact you guys wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. But this is something that's starting to grow. It's becoming more popular. It's not a good thing. I don't want anybody to have this. But there's reasons why a lot of people are starting to experience this heart fear. And I've went ahead and thought about this for a while now. I would say the first reason is our diet, of course, right? Our diet, we're not getting the proper, he's just rambling on about diets. No, we're not getting the proper nutrients that we need. You eat Burger King, you eat McDonald's, you eat Taco Bell. I know I'm guilty of it. You eat that stuff every single day. That stuff is literally killing you. All that sugar, all those carbs, all those fats, and they're not the good kind of fats. All that nasty stuff is not helping the heart situation, right? So I feel like a lot of us, when we are dieting, we feel the best because not only are you taking measures and realizing, like you wake up every single day and you have a set goal. You're and I know I'm probably just rambling on, but you have something to look forward to in the day. Another reason is because you can't type anything in on the internet. There's no such thing. If the internet didn't exist, do you think your heart anxiety would still be as crazy as it is now? Probably not. You wouldn't go into, you'd be able to trust your doctor and you wouldn't have the information to look up and try to counter his diagnosis. We do that. Now, while that could be good, internet could be used for good, it's usually not. The first thing for someone with heart anxiety, they type in some type of symptom they're having, it's going to show the worst possible thing, which doesn't help what I said, previously stated is, oh my goodness, I'm having the worst case scenario. Google, internet is backing you up in that thought in your head. So no, it's not really a good thing for us to Google symptoms, right? I think we can all agree on that. And I think the third thing is we're not getting enough water. That's, the key to life. Like if you don't drink water, if you don't have anything to drink, you're going to die. You are not going to live on this earth very long without some type of liquid going inside your body. We need water to survive. We don't realize that. And we're definitely not getting enough water. We have so much soda, we have so much tea, we have so much energy drinks. And if you drink that stuff, every once in a while it's not a big deal, but some people are drinking it chronically and it's not good for you. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your mind. And that will affect your heart in some type of way. So the deeper root of the heart fear, because everything really has a deeper root. When you have a fear of spiders, you're either afraid of the texture of the spiders crawling on you, you're afraid of the spider bite, you're afraid of how they look. There's always something deeper. If you're afraid of planes, you're afraid of either the mechanical part of the plane, you're afraid of crashing, you're afraid of heights, or if you're afraid of heights, you might be afraid of falling. I keep going on about this. I'm just saying there's always a deeper root really with something. And I know you can just kind of boil it up and say, I'm afraid to die. Well, if you're afraid to die, why is it specifically with the heart? Well, I think the deeper root for a lot of us, and this is not for everybody, the deeper root of having heart anxiety is death, right? We are afraid to die. But we have heart anxiety because we've been told by so many people, we hear so many stories out there of people just dropping dead. What happened to them? I don't know, their heart just stopped. Or we hear stories about people that have heart attacks all the time, right? Because of our nasty, sad, standard American diet, but sad diet. So it's all over the news. It's all pretty much anybody really talk about when they talk about, you know, some type of medical reason besides cancer, heart disease leads to deaths, you know, in the nation. So I feel like we're scared of death, but we're also scared of experiencing that event because we don't know what that event will cause. I think we're more scared, you know, there's people that are more scared of the event of something happening to their heart than they are of actual death. We're so focused on the heart. Well, the main reason we're so focused on the heart, and the main reason that cardiophobiacs, I don't know if that's a word, cardiophobia people experience that fear of their heart, is simply because that's what keeps us alive, right? Do you think that if you are do you think if maybe, what's the heart, but let's say if it was the kidney that kept us alive, it would be the same thing, right? You don't really fear your kidneys. You don't really fear your pancreas. You don't fear anything else besides heart problems. That's why, like, I never really experienced some type of like cancer fear. I never experienced some type of, you know, stroke fear. I've only really experienced heart fears. Now, of course, whenever the other situations like stroke and cancer, you know, still disconcerting. I didn't like it. I still felt stressed out. But the anxiety fear, not the anxiety fear, the heart anxiety fear is the worst of them all because it can happen like that. And I think that's what we're really afraid of. But given that it's very, 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 very rare, and so we tend not to be rationalized. We don't think about positive things because all we have in our mind is something bad happening to us. So for the longest time, and I'm going to say this and I'll wrap up. I know I'm just going down a bunch of rabbit holes here, but this is important. For the longest time, a lot of us live life as though we don't have these heart conditions, right? We don't have heart failure. We don't have any heart disease. But I feel like we may as well have it because we're living life like we do. And so if you're living life like you have heart disease when you really don't, other than having the physical disease, you're experiencing what people who have heart failure feel, right? And you start doing a lot of things to cope with that heart problem. You start exercising less. You start, you know, reading on some treatments. Maybe you Google your life expectancy if you had some type of heart problem. Whatever it is, whatever you're fearing, you are now experiencing that disease, not physically, but you're experiencing it mentally. And you're putting yourself in other people's shoes that are actually experiencing this. And there's so many people that are experiencing heart failure, stage 4 heart failure, and they have no anxiety at all. We, as people that have heart anxiety, we are a really different kind of people. And only one-on-one, or whoever you're talking to, has experienced this. It's not someone, just an average human's going to understand. So if we can just start understanding that they don't understand, and you know, they will never ever understand what it's like to go through something like this. And if you are going through it, I feel for you, and I'm right there with you. Still, even today, I'm in a much better place than I was, but still, even today, still fear the heart problems. But I think that's pretty much it. And if you want to talk, you know, I am totally open. I try to get to as much comments as I can. This channel's growing, and it's kind of hard sometimes to get back to a lot of people. But I care about you, and I care about your story. You are not alone in this fight. And I do want you to know that there is no get well trick for you mentally. This is a painful process, but you have people in your corner. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really need to start making more videos. Like, I miss doing this. I appreciate every single view that I get. I appreciate every single one. I can't say that enough. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Guys, drop a comment. Let me know. Don't forget to like. And I'll see you guys back here next time. As always, God bless.